fire inside.
Welcome to another episode of Ringmasters, where we discuss the latest in boxing news and share techniques of the sweet science. Are you ready, fight fans? Let's glove up.
Got you.
There we go. Got you on here finally, man.
Yes, sir.
All right. So everybody, hold on, I don't see head or something. So everybody, this is Mr. Timothy Moten, otherwise known as Mayhem in the Ring.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you joining us tonight. A little late, but you know.
Yeah, I apologize. I got carried away in the gym. The last session of the week, you know, we fight Saturday. So that's my fault. I apologize for that.
That's okay. That's all right. We forgive you here. We all about forgiveness and moving on.
Yes,
now
sir.
you got a fight coming up Saturday on the 24th in Louisville, Kentucky. Where's the fight gonna be?
It's gonna be at the Henry Clay. It's put on by Troy Eskridge from Eskridge Enterprise, and it'll be my first 6-round fight.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yes,
now
sir.
again, is it Louisville, Kentucky that the fight will be in?
Yes, sir. Louisville, Kentucky.
Louisville, all right, Louisville, Kentucky. That's how you know I'm not from Louisville. Yeah. Okay, well that's great, man. I did my little research. So what do you know about your opponent, man? Because his name is Armando Reeves.
Right. Yes,
right,
sir.
right. His record's not that great. Of course, he looks like he's just beginning.
Yeah.
So you never can tell.
Right.
Right now he's 2-4. He seems to be a little shorter than you. How you gonna do that? Because you are 5'11", correct?
Yeah.
All right, and this guy is I think he's 5'7", so he's a little shorter than you.
Yeah.
Are you used to being the shorter fighter?
Yeah, I'm always the short. I'm usually always the shorter fighter, but I figure, you know, with the guy that's shorter, one thing that I do real well is a pressure. I take their flames and I put them out. So with my style, whether you're taller, shorter, it works for anybody.
Really?
So I feel like if he's not strong enough, if he's not in great shape, then that pressure eventually is gonna you know smolder out the flame.
Yeah.
So
okay,
you know, we step in and we apply the pressure.
Okay. Now, usually a coach would tell his fighter, if the fighter is shorter than you, to use your outside. You know, keep him on the outside.
Right.
Use your footwork. So that's not your plan.
So I kind of the way that I'm gonna approach it is, you know, you can still be a pressure fighter and be the taller man and still keep them at your range. You know, punch count up, hard shots.
Yeah.
And, again, coming forward. You know, coming forward on anybody, making them move is a blip.
I see you because you're a strong guy, and I've seen like a couple of your fights, and you're the aggressive. You know, you're always moving forward. I guess people describe you as a tank. I know I describe you as a tank. You know, coming forward. You know, but surprisingly, I thought that you would. When I saw the guy's height, I thought that you would change up your style. If I was fighting him, I probably would change up my style just a tad. You know, short guys, you know, are like dynamite, man. Most of them. You know, so I know it seems like you're gonna get into a brawl with this guy, though. Just saying.
You know, if we're in the beginning and we're testing the waters and I see that it's gonna be a brawl and I don't want it to be a brawl, what a lot of people don't know is I do have the ability to box. So I've outboxed a lot of taller guys just from a lot of my amateur fights and a
Yeah.
lot of my the amateur system when I was there. Everybody was taller than me at super heavyweight.
How
And a
many
lot of
amateur
those,
fights? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
and a lot of those guys, you know, they would even come forward and think, oh, I'm gonna get this short, chunky guy out of here. And sometimes I had to be on the back foot and outbox these guys, and it worked. And I was able to do it successfully a lot of times.
Yeah.
But I had in my amateur career, I had about right at about 90 something amateur fights. Not over 95, but around in that range.
Okay. Wow. Okay. That's good, man. That's a lot of fights, bro. That's all right, man. Well, that's good. But I'm gonna ask you this, man. How did life start for you? Where did it start? And how was it? Give me the details of that.
Life started for me. You know, I'm born and raised Louisville, Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
Grew up with both my parents in a household. My father, Troy Bailey, who was one of my trainers, and my mother, Tammy Moten. I had a great childhood. I didn't really have a rough upbringing, but I had a childhood that was full of lots of street fights and fights at the parks, and you know, it wasn't anything bad about my home life per se, but it was a lot of fights in the neighborhood. And my dad, when I was, you know, everybody played youth football. That was a big thing. Playing football for the youth team, or basketball for the AAU team. And so I played football, and I got tired of being stuck on the line. I was sick of being on the line. I wanted to run the football. So we had a weight limit. My dad was like, you know, let's go to something that I used to do, and it was boxing. And he took me to the boxing gym. I trained for like 4 months that summer to get my weight down. I got my weight down, but I didn't want to stop boxing. I had my first fight and I lost it. And I didn't want to go to football. I wanted to fight that guy again who I lost to. And so fought him again. I beat him. That ended up being a guy I fought like 3 or 4 times in the amateurs. And, you know, just took it from there. I did the whole amateur circuit, made my pro debut, and I think it was 2017, 2016. I'm not sure. Just been trudging along from there. You know, we tried the Olympic route. We fell short. Everybody I lost to make it to the Olympics made it to the Olympic trial.
Wow.
It's like, to make it that, if I'd have beat them and made it to that next step, I would have possibly been in the trials.
Yeah.
But they all beat me, and they all went on to go to the trials, and none of them made it. It was Michael Hunter who made it that year as the Olympian. But yeah, so I just, you know, went from there, turned pro, and just been trudging on ever since.
Yeah, man, that's all right, man. What started? I did want to ask you this. You said, well, I was going to ask you how did you start the I said, how should I say, what made you want to box? But I think you answered that because you said, you know, you had a lot of fights.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
And
I wanted to get that weight down to run the football, play running back. And on top of that, my dad knew that I was a spark plug. You know, he knew I was aggressive. So
yeah.
why not do both? So
yeah, and then you know, you got a way to channel all that aggression. You know.
Yeah, it's really it's therapeutic for me. Even still today, when I don't get in the gym, I feel like I got an itch. You know, like I didn't do something I was supposed to do. So in the words of my pops, he tells me, you're a slave to the gym now.
Yeah, gym rat.
Gym rat.
Yeah, man, it's like that, man. That spark, you know, I guess the first time you were in there, it kind of set your heart on fire, and that's it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And people don't understand that, because when I got in the gym, you know, I always tell people, man, when I first went to the boxing gym, I was running behind a girl, you know, and I was in class. I asked her, well, where are you going? She said, I'm going to the gym. So I said, fine, okay, I'm gonna go too, you know. And when I got into the gym, I forgot all about her, you know. And that was it. That was it. It was nothing but boxing for me, you know.
Right.
Yeah. So tell us about, you said you had 90-something amateur fights?
Yeah, I think I right at about 92, 93, somewhere around there.
Okay. And you were the Tri-State Golden Gloves champ. Did I get that right?
Yeah. So I won the Indiana Golden Gloves in 2006 and 7, and then I went to the Tri-State Golden Gloves because we had to we was in Louisville. Louisville's right across the bridge from Indiana. So we had to go there, and then we also had the option to go upwards north to south to Ashland, Kentucky. So I went to Ashland and I fought in the Tri-State Golden Gloves and won that, and that's where I went to the Nationals. That's the team that I went with, was Tri-State.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's great, man. And I think we talked about your style of boxing. One thing I wanted to ask you about your style. I mean, we already established that you're an aggressive guy. You know, you like to, I guess, smother them with the power. You ever thought about why haven't more fighters of your stature use the pickaboo style?
Because I know the reason I haven't used it and I don't use it is because if that's not something that has been taught to you from the beginning, it's really hard to start a career and then try to transition into it. You know what I mean? So you can't just jump into the pickable style. It's something that you have to be like Tyson when he first started. He started with the pickable style. Anybody that Cuss had trained was the pickable style. That's why you don't see these guys out here. And if they do try it, it's for a quick second and they get their bell rung and they go back to what they know.
Yeah.
So if you're taught it from the beginning, I believe that it's very doable to do, and you're able to have success with it. But I don't think that anybody can just change over to do it and be successful. It's really hard.
It really is. I've attempted to do, just to spar with it, just to see how it do. Now, one thing that I found out that it's exhausting. You know?
Tyson was in tremendous shape.
Right.
Tremendous shape.
It's exhausting. You can make good angles.
Yeah.
Using it.
Yeah.
You know, so I see why it worked out.
And you make people worry about you. But one thing my dad always tells me is head movement will freeze anybody.
Yeah.
It freezes anybody. Any type of head movement freezes anybody. So when the way that what I took from the pickaboo style and what I took from shorter fighters in general and the guys that I study is head movement. So that exhaustion, I took that exhaustion and I put it on my opponent because I'm not doing the moving, but I'm moving my head forward and it's still making you worry about me coming forward because you don't know where I'm throwing from next.
Yeah. Well, I see Fred Brown says your dad was a great pickaboo style coach. You know?
Shout out Fred Brown and Aaron and Lo Hanshaw. Those are the people from Tri-State. And Fred Brown's one of the guys my dad used to train. He's one of my pops' Golden Glove champions.
Okay. Well, that's great, man. What's up, Fred? How you doing, man? Thank you for tuning in to Ring Masters, man. Yeah, man. But again, I've tried it, and it's not quite my style. I still want to learn it, just cause, you know.
Definitely.
Because I always, you know, I want to always be prepared.
Right.
And you never know when that may come in handy. You know, I'm super so I'm usually the taller fighter.
Right.
But you never know. We got some tall fighters now.
It's 6'6", 6'8", 6'9".
Yeah,
These guys are huge.
Cassius, isn't he like 6'7"?
Cassius Chaney?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like 6'7", 6'6".
Yeah. So, you know, if I ever get him, watch out, Cassius. Pickaboo is coming your way. You know, but yeah, that's good, man. All right. And I saw something. I saw an interview, previous interview that you did. You're very committed to boxing.
Yeah.
I think you mentioned in the interview that you quit 2 jobs just to go to Anthony Joshua camp.
Yeah,
first of all.
So me and my fiance was both working. We had a full-time and then we both had part-time jobs.
Okay.
So she's definitely been like a big supporter, big help in this journey I've been on. But when the Joshua camp opportunity came knocking, I had to take it. You know, at first I thought it was false. First I thought it was fake.
Did they reach out to you? Then he froze up on me here. Hello? Hello, did he freak? No, jeez. Think something went wrong with him. Let's see if we can get him back. Let's see if we can get him back. Hey, Tim, just add yourself back on, man. You're still invited. Add yourself back on, man. You're still invited, man. Let me see if I can get him up here. There we go.
We back.
Yo, lost you, bro.
Okay, we back. My bad. I don't know what happened.
That's all right, man. I'm blaming it on your fault.
So when that opportunity came, I was working part-time at a hotel cleaning, and I was cleaning carpet. And
Okay.
you know, I'd work in the daytime, I clean the carpet, and then late at night, I would go to the hotel, pick up a couple shifts. But you know, when that opportunity came, I left both of them. You know, we had a couple weeks before camp came. We stacked up our money. I quit and I went to London, and she continued to work to keep ahead of the game until I was able to make money from the camp and help support back home.
Well, that's great, man. That's a good woman, man. Good woman.
Yeah,
hey, no, I was going to ask you, did they reach out to you? How did that? How were you picked for that?
Oh, so the way it happened was he had just fought Ruiz the first time, and initially I tried to get into camp with him, the first time he had the fight with Ruiz, but it didn't work. I reached out to him too late. It was like 2 weeks until the fight. A good friend of mine, Joey DeVaco from Philly, was in camp with him. He was the one sparring with him at the end of camp. And I reached out to Joey, and Joey told me that he would put in a word. He put in a word for me, and he said that it was too late. You know, it was 2 weeks into the camp. They're already pushing, getting ready for the fight.
Yeah.
So when the unfortunate loss happened to Joshua, but it was fortunate for me. As soon as the press conference for the Ruiz Joshua 2 fight came out, I was on sending them so many messages. I sent Eddie Hearn, Anthony Joshua. I sent them the messages, but I knew that I wasn't going to get in contact with them because these guys got millions of followers.
Right.
So I asked everybody to spam their pages, and you know, just to get my name in them comments and on the post and tags. And so what ended up happening was I looked up and Googled a picture of Joshua embracing all of his friends after the Klitschko victory. And I seen the one he had closest to him was David Ganza, which is now a really good friend of mine. His name is KD. And so I messaged KD. This was back when KD, he had a nice Instagram following, but it was enough for him to see my inbox message some type of way.
Yeah.
So I ended up messaging KD. KD said that or then Eddie Hearn contacted me. So KD told me later on that when he seen I messaged him, he told Eddie Hearn about me, and Eddie Hearn looked at my page on Instagram, and Eddie Hearn told me, he inboxed me and told me, I really like what I see. I'm gonna be in touch. You know,
really?
at this time I thought it was fake. I was like, this can't be Eddie Hearn, man. So I looked, I seen it was him. I waited, and then KD, they touched down in London. KD messaged me and said, can you be on a plane in 2 weeks? I said, yeah. So in 2 weeks, it was the start of the 4-month camp for Joshua, because I was there and I was in camp with him for almost a whole month before anybody else got there. Maybe half a month, 2 weeks to 3 weeks before everybody got there. So so KD reached out to me, then Eddie reached out to me. I got my ticket, and I was on a plane to the UK. I was there.
That's all right, man. Great story. Hey, so what was he like anyway? Pretty chill guy or what?
Yeah, AJ is like one of the guys, man. You know how you go to the gym and you got the guys you joke around with. You know, once y'all in your gym circle, once you get affiliated and you know him, then, you know, you become one of the guys. You know, and that happened fairly easy. So that, you know, they kind of told me that he was a pretty good guy, because he wasn't, you know, for him to be the unified and former unified heavyweight champion of the world at the time. You know, he was just like one of the guys in the gym.
Yeah, that's good, man. I'm glad he's down to earth fellow. That's
definitely.
You know. So in the next, I'm assuming, I don't know if they got it under contract, him and Fury, but you think you'll be in that camp also, or what?
I don't know if I'll be in the camp, but I think that as far as being in the camp for sparring, no. But because of the dimensions, you know, I'm nowhere near 6'9". So.
Yeah. I was figuring, you know, that he may not get you in there to mimic, you know, the Fury style, but I mean, as far as conditioning wise, he gets
fillers, yeah. So definitely, it is a possibility for me to do that, just because I gave excellent work when I was out there, and I am still in touch and in contact with a lot of people from his team. So it's definitely a possibility. But that's kind of what you're saying is kind of what they were using Bryant Jennings for. When Jennings was in camp with us, he would always take over and do like the last 3 rounds or the last 4 rounds, or, you know, with Joshua. And he was one of the guys who would come in and just give heck of rounds with him. You know, didn't look nothing like Ruiz, but he gave him heck rounds. You know, it was bringing fire. It was good sessions.
Wow, man. Man, that's something that had to be pretty exciting, though.
Oh, man, it was crazy. I'm seeing pay-per-view fights in the ring, you know, just for
just sitting there, man. That's great.
And being a part of the action, you know, it definitely was a confidence builder for me, because being there, being in the midst of all these guys that I've seen on YouTube and I've seen watching on pay-per-view fights, and getting there and mixing it up with these guys, and being able to hold my own and getting compliments and being there for that long for that camp, not being sent home like other guys were. Man, it definitely showed me that when it's my time, I'm gonna be ready.
Hey, man, you see that you belong, right?
Exactly.
You belong, man. So that's good. That's a good feeling too, man. So we talked about earlier about your fight with Reed. Who do you want to fight, man? Anybody in particular you want to fight to kind of measure, to see where you are?
Well, the way I look at it is, you know, once I get there, I definitely want those guys that I look at the box rec. You know, I want to take. I'm trying to conquer. I want to conquer the United States as far as like the prospect look.
So you ain't gonna call no names?
I ain't gonna, nah. Listen. It ain't nobody's got my eye right now.
Gotcha.
That I want. Like, I see some of the guys, and some of them I see. I ain't gonna name no names, but some of them I see, they not gonna want the smoke when it comes.
All right.
They're not gonna be ready for the smoke. Real soon I'm gonna put out a hit list though, and you'll be the first one I tag on it.
Please do.
Real soon. I'm thinking about that 10-0 marker, putting out that hit list that I wanted them prospect guys.
Okay, well that's good, man. I can't wait for it, bro. I can't wait for it. I did want to, since you are somewhat of, your career has surpassed a lot of us in boxing, man. Myself included, because I never got to become a pro boxer, just an amateur. You know, of course, life gets in the way for a lot of us.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah. So what advice would you give to any other young boxers? Because you're not that old. You're 29, right?
Yeah.
29, yeah.
29.
So what advice would you give to other young boxers, man, about establishing their career?
I tell everybody consistency is key. One thing my father always told me was, even when life hit rough for me and I had to figure out, with my baby boys, with my fiance, working, paying bills. When I had to figure that out for myself, my dad always told me, my pops always told me, keep your foot in the gym, never leave it. Because when you leave it, you may not come back, one, and when you leave it, it's gonna be so hard to come back and get back where you need to be.
Yeah.
But if you keep that foot in there, you'll always, when it's time for you to be on go, you ready. And that's what happened. I kept my foot in. Okay, can you hear me?
I was trying to call. I don't know what's wrong with people.
So just consistency. You gotta stay consistent. I always think boxing. I think boxing when I'm at home. If you check my YouTube history, it's nothing but boxing channels. You really gotta live it, eat it, and poop it.
I totally agree with you, man. One of my things and I always said this, I could talk boxing with anybody, and I know this to be true because I spent so much time with boxing. Everybody who knows me knows that. Oh man, that's all you talk about,
If you don't hear that in your lifetime, you're not dedicated to boxing.
Right, and look, and so I can watch film, like I watch Archie Moore, film.
Right.
I can watch films for hours, man, trying to dissect the style or trying to implement or copy a style, I should say, imitate a style.
Right.
Or something like Jersey Joe Wilcox or something like that.
Yeah.
Or, I seen some old cats doing the cross-arm style.
Yeah.
And including George Foreman. So I was like, I wonder how I can get this. I can learn that style. So I always, you gotta love it, man. You just gotta, like you said, you gotta breathe it if you want to be successful. But that's good, man. I don't want to take. I think we're pretty much almost done here. Tell me something. Do you have any other projects that you got going on?
As of right now, no. I live, eat, breathe this. When I'm going to bed at night, right before I go to bed, I'm watching the fight.
Yeah.
And when I wake up, I do my daily duties for my family. I take care of my, but in the back of my mind, it's boxing. And the reason I know that it has to be this way is because when it's not that way, that's when you get hurt. When it's not that way, that's when you take fights that you haven't really been training for, but you want to make that little extra cash. And for me at this point, it's not about, anything else but being better at my craft.
Yeah.
And being the best that I can be. My physical, mental, everything, the best that I can be. I just engulf myself in it. So as far as anything extra that I put my time and attention to, if I can, it's boxing.
Yeah, well, that's good, man. You want to stay like someone wrote on there that you were true to the sport, and you should be, man, because you don't want to, like I guess what you said, take anything for granted, go in and face an opponent, and you kind of just, I guess, taking the opponent for granted, kind of halfway going through training, going through the, what's up,
Right.
Going through the motion. And fooling around, get hurt or beat,
Yeah.
Yeah. I seen Mike Tyson had an interview, and he said he talked about his loss to Buster Douglas. He said he didn't take that fight seriously.
Yeah. I tell you another one that, of course, we don't know the details of the situation, but another one that I seen was Darmani Rock versus Michael Polite Coffee.
Go ahead.
I feel like Darmani is a lot better than what he put on and displayed that night. I do. I
Mm-hmm.
do. Michael Coffey's a beast, but I think Darmani is a lot better than what he put up and what he did then. You know, it just kind of his. You can tell his demeanor, just the energy that it looked like he was putting off, like he just didn't really want to be there. You know what I mean? After a while, but
Yeah.
see, whereas if you get hit and you get knocked down by somebody, like, you know, when Weeze got up from that Joshua knockdown, for example, when he got up, you know, he was like, damn, you know, let's get back to it. You
Yeah.
know, not getting
Yeah.
up, just kind of like, damn,
Shaking
you
his
know?
head and things.
Yeah, you know, you got to be into it. You gotta be, you know what I mean? You gotta
Yeah.
be passionate about it. Because if you don't, that's when you
Yeah.
get taken advantage of a beat.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you got to be absolutely focused, you know.
Yeah.
And you got, like you said, you got to be into it. You got to be present in the moment.
Right.
And you can kind of tell when a person is already lost the fight because they're like, you know,
Yeah.
shaking their head, and, you know, you just know it, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, all right. Tell us one more thing. Tell us something that no one knows about Mayhem. Something that we would never guess about yourself, man. Now I had a guest on here named Carlos Jackson. All right, call him King Dynamite. He's a salsa dancer. So,
Okay, I think I got something.
what you got?
I can play the saxophone.
Really? So you out at the club at night?
If I wanted to, I
Doing
could.
dance
I can sing and I can play the saxophone.
You can sing?
Yeah.
What? Did you learn to sing, man? You learned?
Yeah.
How'd you learn to sing?
Man, you know where it came from? It stemmed off from when I was younger with my cousin. Me and my cousin tried to start a boy band group. You know, like a Boys to Men type group.
Yeah.
So we couldn't sing at first. None of us could. But as time went on, you teach yourself to sing. You know, how to hold a tone, how to hold a tune, and
okay.
you know, so you're able to do it. So over time, you know, over and over again, I was able to do it. So that's just like when Jared Hurd posted that he was a singing boxer. I actually inboxed him a video of me singing, and he wrote me back. We was talking about that. So.
Okay. Well, look, man, the floor is yours if you want to do it. Bro.
Listen, look, I ain't gonna do it now.
Oh,
look,
man.
when I do,
I tried to, you know, but they don't want to do it. You know? We was about to get it. We was gonna go to Moten. We was gonna go to Bam. You know, whatever we was gonna say. But dude, hey, you know, I noticed one thing about you, man. And I believe you had it posted, man. You have an associate's degree in the science of marketing.
Oh no, that's my fiance.
Okay.
Yeah, so like through I posted that because through everything we've been through, her supporting me, taking care of the babies when I was off in London. You know, she still was grinding and going to school and working.
Wow.
Yes, man. So I was just Jonathan said it. I might have to sing something for you. Everybody want me to sing.
See that? Are you looking at this, man? Go ahead. Somebody said, let's hear them vocals, man. We all wait. Let me know if you want me to beatbox or something, you know?
I have to get you something, man. I'm gonna have to do something soon, man. But I promise, when I do it,
man, I was gonna let you blow, man. Hey, I tried again, you know. I'll beat the song, Boys to Men. All right, bro. I'm gonna let it go. All right. Well, tell us, give us the information about your fight again, so we make sure we get everybody, get everybody that information in your area, and I'm in Atlanta, so all my ATLians, you know, if you're out that way in Louisville, Kentucky, please go see this fight. Go ahead and give us the information.
So the fight is at the Henry Clay. It's in Louisville, Kentucky. It's downtown Louisville at the Henry Clay. It's first 6-round fight. It's gonna be about a 14-15 fight card. You guys, if y'all not local and y'all do want to still see the fight, you can get it at livesportscaster.com. I'll post that link to my page and I'll tag you in it too, Reggie.
That's
everybody
fine. That's great.
can see that. And you know, we get this guy there and get a knockout. I'll definitely be back on the show the next day to do some singing for you.
Yeah, please do, man. Please do, man. All right. I do have a sponsor here. My sponsor is Creative Bartending for wedding, receptions, or private parties. Creative Bartending is right for you. Please contact Miss Brianna Sowers at 323-427-8648. Again, that's Miss Brianna Sowers at 323-427-8648. All right. All right. And Mr. Mayhem, man, I surely appreciate you, man. You know, it was good talking to you. You're a good guy. I want to give my viewers and not just my faithful viewers, but anyone who tuned in tonight, the opportunity to get to know you. You're up to stuff, man. And I do, again, I appreciate you, and I wish you luck on your fight, man.
Thank
you.
you.
I'm doing great things in the sport, inside the ring and out.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you had me on, even though I was a little late.
Yeah.
I'm glad you came back on for me.
Wait till I see you, man. Nah, man. Thank you again, though. I appreciate you, bro. All right.
No problem. Thank you. Talk to you soon.
All right. Y'all have a good night, okay?
You too.
All right.